Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're healthy and I hope that your training's going well, as always. Now this is a full heavy bag workout. I'm going to talk you through the whole thing, just give you a little bit of a voiceover so you can understand what I'm doing and why. And hopefully give you some ideas for your own training. It's pretty cold, so I've got a few layers on. I'm taking the time to warm up with some shadow boxing so there's no impact on my joints. My goal here is to raise my body temperature and to get my heart rate up. Personally, I like to get just a little bit of a layer of sweat over my body and just get myself breathing a little bit heavier. You should still be able to hold a conversation at this pace. You shouldn't be getting too out of breath. If you are, you should slow it down. Now I'm starting to mix things up, so first of all I'm just striking, but now I'm adding my defense in there as well. I'm adding little bits of covering as well as my straights, my hooks, a little bit of footwork as well, moving forwards and backwards while you're hitting. I like to switch stance as well, so I'm always working that. Here I'm changing angles, working on that pivot, just turn and hit. Basically, you want to go through all the movements that you're going to be doing in the workout. This workout is going to be focusing on the 4 basic boxing punches: jab, cross, hook and uppercut. So that's what my focus is on the warm-up here. I'm just listening to my body, making sure I feel good, trying out a few different things, but you can see it's all light, it's relaxed. I'm not even making a really tight fist. It's all about warming up in stages. Now as you'll see, I've split this up into early, middle and late rounds. So it's up to you to decide what your fitness is like. I'm not going to say do this many rounds because that's not going to work for everybody, is it? What works for you now should eventually become too easy for you. So in this first round, I'm just working out my jabs. I've been working both stances, single jabs, double jabs, stepping side to side and just working with the bag. Today I'm working the Aqua bag, but work your heavy bag of choice. It doesn't have to be this one, but if you've got access to an Aqua bag, I do recommend using it. I absolutely love it for boxing training. Just building up the pace. I'm still treating this as my warm-up, still building the pace up. Now just building the impact, just making sure everything feels good. With me, my major concern is always that shoulder surgery. To be honest, it was feeling really good, even though it was a really cold day. Just look at how I'm mixing it up. It's just basic, it's the same 2 punches over and over again, but you can change the timing, you can mix up your footwork. One of the reasons I like the Aqua bag so much is the angles you can work on it. It's not just a flat bag. It feels great. As long as you've got a tight fist, you can't hit it with a weak hand, you'll hurt yourself. It's great to work the heavy bag on your own. You can really set your own pace. And these are my new gloves. It was good to try them out as well. Honestly, I was having a good time during this workout. Now each round, the idea is take your pace up a little bit and introduce new punches. So here, as you can see, we had hooks. I'm working single hooks, lead hook punches, double hook off the same hand. Then pretty soon I'm going to start adding in left hook into right hook into left hook. Here we go. Again, you can see I've just took the pace up a little bit from the last round. Starting to up the pace now, taking the punches in a little bit cleaner, moving my body a bit more, shifting those feet. But my concern is always trying to keep as good technique as possible. You know, there's no such thing really as perfect technique. It's always going to change based on the situation. I'm always trying to keep a guard. I'm trying to keep my arms relatively tight. And this is the good thing about videoing yourself too. When I'm watching this back, I can see the things that I'm doing right. I can see any mistakes that I'm making whenever my guard drops. Maybe I wasn't aware of it at the time, but you can always see it when you look back on the video. Now when you're working those lead hooks, when you're working the double hook, pop, pop, move with the bag. Make sure you twist your body 2 times. If you throw 2 hooks, don't throw it with the arm, throw it with your whole body. You know, you should be making these punches count. Again, finishing with a higher pace than you start. It's really important. If you want to build that fitness, if you want to build that stamina, you have to push yourself. The aim isn't to become exhausted, but the aim is to push a decent pace. Again, it's going to be relative. As you get fitter, you can push yourself harder. Look, I'm moving with the bag. Little bits of head movement as well. Thinking about my guard, thinking about my defense. And the next step, still in the middle of your workout, we're going to put hooks and straights together. You should be pretty warm by this point, so your pace should be up there. Now you can use whatever combination you like with your jabs, crosses, lead and rear hooks. Throw them in any order, move with the bag. This is where you develop a flow. This is what the heavy bag's for, building up your power in your shots, working on combinations. You should never have to just stop and catch the bag. Try and work like this, work with the bag. Try and strike it when it's coming back towards you. The aim isn't to push it, the aim is to work on that impact. It can be such a good tool for conditioning your hands and conditioning your joints. Just getting you used to hitting so you don't hurt yourself. Make sure, of course, you're keeping a tight hand in those gloves. Otherwise, you're going to come off worse. You can see the hooks, they flow nicely off the straights. Nice little falling step there into the right cross. You see, even by repeating the same moves, you can keep the variety. If you get stuck, you can keep doing the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You can keep it really simple. But as you can see, even with 3 shots so far, you can work it in quite a few different ways, especially when you start putting the defense in there, the head movement, and also changing stance. And look at that guard. The hand that's not hitting, I'm always drawing it into my jaw, nice and tight. You should always picture that you're striking down a corridor nice and tight. Now when you're getting into the end of the workout, these late rounds, the 4th punch we add, the final punch, is the uppercut. You've got it off the lead hand, you've got it off the rear hand. At the start of these rounds, I like to just focus on the technique that I'm adding in. Like we did with the hooks, and like we did with the straights. I just isolate them, work them on their own, make sure it's feeling good. And I work different angles as well. Again, something that the Aqua bag is really good for. It's a bit harder to work uppercuts on your standard heavy bag. But the shape of the Aqua bag it makes it a lot easier to work these uppercuts. It's one of the reasons I do enjoy boxing on it. And when you're getting right to the end of the workout, you put everything together. You can take a break if you need to. As you can see, I'm just flowing straight into it here. I was feeling good, so there was no reason to stop. Straights, hooks, uppercuts. Now play with the order, play with the combinations, have fun with it. Now I've got a few favourites. I really like throwing straights into hooks. I love throwing hooks and uppercuts together. You should be turning your shoulders and turning your hips and placing your feet, so every punch gives you the option to throw another punch straight after it. You should never hit and not be able to follow up with either another strike or some kind of defensive movement. I can see as I'm getting tired here, my chin's coming up a little bit while I'm trying to get that air in. That's something I need to be aware of when I'm getting tired. But it's not too bad, it's not up in the air. I'm still drawing that hand back. Look at that guard here. The end of the workout, just as important as the middle, just as important as the start. Your technique has to be good. If you're ever getting exhausted in a workout and your technique is suffering, it's probably time to stop and call it a day. Next time, take it down a gear and you'll be able to last for longer with good technique. The idea is not to sacrifice technique, just to get a tiny bit fitter. Your technique and your fitness, your technique and your cardio should go together. I hope you enjoyed this video if you've made it this far in. Thanks for your time. I hope you appreciate my content, and if you're new, hit subscribe, leave me a comment below and let me know how your training's going. Let me know what kind of heavy bag workouts you like to do. I'm Marshall Lee, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.